Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
Everybody, welcome in on a Monday to The Drive on the Fan Sports Network inside the Findlay Hyundai Studios. And move over, Drake, Toll, Westwood 1. Let the local guys have some fun. Devin, Dixon, Paulie Ratliff, Tara Atkin. Paulie's back from a basketball smorgasbord. I think we were all on a little bit of a basketball bender over the weekend. And boy, oh boy, I loved every second of it. At one point, this is honest truth, my wife said, hey, let's watch a movie this weekend. I said, nothing. Another point, she said, hey, do you want to watch a movie? I said, maybe a little later.
Kicking that can down the road.
I did not want to watch a movie on the opening weekend of March Madness. Is that bad of me?
Husband of the year, because he gave me a call. Let me tell you this, Tara. He gave me a call yesterday during the heat of the games. I'm at my house, fresh off the plane, just watching basketball. And I get a call from him, and he's on the way to the hardware store.
Oh, no.
Husband of the
Home
year.
Depot visit,
a little
huh?
honey-do list for him on
man.
a Sunday.
Yeah. And you know what I did?
What'd you do?
Re-aggravated my allergies, all the yard work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but that's all right. Man, something this spring. I got to go find some local honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to get out to the Fry's fruit stand or somewhere.
Grandpap loves the local honey idea. It says it keeps him healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it has been absolutely brutal. But that's okay. Good to have you back. How was the trip?
It was good. It was really good. I don't think I've seen a better TV setup that I've ever been in at a house. For watching games, especially games where there's a lot on at one time, there was a 75 in the middle, and this is what I want for my house someday. There was a 75-inch TV in the middle, flanked by 255-inch to the left and right. And it was an incredible viewing experience. I couldn't top it. I mean, I even sent it to you guys. Tara was yearning that she wanted another TV.
Yeah.
And it was quite the viewing experience, I'll say that. And a great company as well.
The Sweet 16 is set, unfortunately. And we knew this. Tia and I kind of broke this game down on Friday. BYU is not moved on. They lose in the first round. Pretty disappointing for that size of a roster, for that talented of a roster, for that expensive of a roster. But Utah State did. They won their first game. So we had prime time last night, a little after 5 o'clock, Aggies and Zona. I've made it pretty well known. I think TA has. We both took Zona in our brackets. And our champ is still alive as Arizona took care of Utah State. But I was pretty impressed with Utah State's fight. They hung with Zona and made that game a lot closer than I thought it was going to be down the stretch. They ended up... How good... Another case in point, Paulie, how good the odds makers are at setting lines. This game, depending on when you got it, was 11, 11.5, 12, maybe even 12.5. That's kind of where the Arizona ends up winning by 12.
Yes.
A lot of people, if they took Arizona and got it at 11.5, won by a half of point, or if they got it at 12, they pushed on that game.
That's right.
Yeah.
The hook coming in big for some people.
Yeah. That's how good the lines makers are in college basketball, even in the tournament where you're spitting out these lines quick and there's game after game after game. These guys are unbelievable.
Yes.
But Utah State, I mean, proved they belong. There's a couple of things. One, here's Tommy Lloyd talking about the win and gives some love to Calhoun and Utah State as he does so. So let's give it a listen and we'll react.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a guy that gets into the weeds on all that stuff, but I mean that's a really good basketball team. I mean, if they were a 5 or a 6 seed, I wouldn't have been surprised. I mean, if you win the Mountain West regular season and tournament, I mean, I think that's a pretty powerful statement, and we felt it out there today. I mean, it's a team that had no quit. And they kept coming, and they made timely plays and timely shots on both ends of the floor. Yeah,
that's high praise. Should have been a 5 or 6 seed.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty big statement from Tommy Lloyd there. And Arizona kind of the favorite in a lot of people's eyes and the book's eyes to win the national championship. And when you get that kind of accolades from that guy, that's pretty cool for Utah State. And I know we'll probably get into it. You guys got into it, I guess, on Friday, that the Cincinnati job could be kind of a warning sign for Utah State that they might be losing this guy once again. But whether they lose him or not, what a season it was for Utah State. The only team out of the Mountain West. Conferences like the WCC got 3 teams in. The Mountain West just wasn't great this year, so they were kind of seeded inappropriately, I thought. But at the same time, what a year for Utah State. I don't think a lot of people had them losing round 1. I mean, Villanova, they were up by 10 at one point, 78-68. I was watching that game, and what a run that was. I don't know, I don't think anyone saw Utah State making a 16-0 run or whatever it was to take command of that game. And then yesterday, you're just outclassed physically almost every position. So it's hard to win, but Utah State fought really hard. And that's really cool getting that kind of recognition from a guy like Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, Aggies lose 78-66 to the top seed Arizona in the round of 32. Gary Clark had 13 off the bench.
Yeah.
MJ Collins had 12. USU 29 wins to 7 losses this year. So nearly a 30-win season. Had they beaten Arizona, knocked off a 1 seed, would have been the second 1 seed to fall in the same day and fall short of the Sweet 16. When they got it down to 4 and it was like 7-8 minutes to go, I was like, oh my goodness, Utah State showing me something here. Like, and then Arizona imposed their will and pulled back away, and they're really talented. Their top 8-man rotation is as good as anybody in the country.
Yeah, they got a really strong rotation.
They might not have the best player in the country. They might not have even a top 5 player in the upcoming NBA draft, but they've got 8 of the top 40 players in the country on the same dang team. This team is stacked, Paulie.
Yeah, it is stacked. And
Awaka is a walking rebound. Akrivas is 7 feet and has got a good touch around the rim, makes free throws even, a rarity for all big men out there. And then you talk about Bradley, and then the freshman Burries. I mean, then you get the guys like Del Orso coming off the bench and Aristocrat, or whatever his name is. Aristode, the Aristocrat. Yeah, that's a deep team. That is a deep basketball team. Tommy Lloyd is coaching up.
Yeah, he had some other statements, too. I think it's speaking on Utah State's front a little bit and just the overall sense of the March Madness and what it's been this year. For the second straight year, there's been no mid-major in the Sweet 16. And Tommy had some comments, and I think this is kind of cool from a guy that coaches a blue blood Power 4 program to kind of give his thoughts on what he thinks of the state of college basketball. We'll take a listen here.
This is the second straight year no mid-majors are in the Sweet 16. What are your thoughts on that, and is it damaging to the overall tournament March Madness concept?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great question and a deep question, and we could probably go a lot of different directions with it. I think look where I came from. I came from a program that was a mid-major program that made itself into a major program, and I think that parity is great for the game, but things change. And, I think once, finances become part of it, there's going to be a breaking point for some of the lesser programs that just don't have the finances. And I think that's just a obvious statement. So, I mean, there's lots of reasons I took the Arizona job. And one of them was kind of forecasting these changes happening, because right when I was getting the job, the NIL deal was rumored, and then it started in July, and I figured Arizona's a place that has a pretty strong, long basketball tradition, and they're going to be excited to invest in basketball, and we have. So I'm thankful for where I am, but I think that's a great question, and I don't have a great answer for you on how to fix it. So let's just leave it at that. But that's a great observation by you.
Nobody knows how to fix it. That's the key. No one knows how to fix it because they've opened Pandora's box with the NIL. You're never going to be able to shut it again. And this really is kind of the death of the mid-major in the tournament. I mean, realistically, High Point had a good shot to maybe beat Arkansas at one point in time, but then Arkansas surged ahead, won the game. We had no mid-major in the Sweet 16. And this was a tournament that lived and breathed on the mid majors making runs. The Princetons, the Yales, the Ivies that would make runs, the small schools from everywhere, the Murray States. It would just be a team like that would really kind of give you hope that the Cinderella was still alive. But I don't think the Cinderella's carriage has turned into a pumpkin. I mean, it's too late for the mid majors.
On the other side of that equation is little old Utah State, right?
Yes.
And Utah State head coach Jared Calhoun said that the Aggies roster went from $880,000 last year in his first year as head coach, and it swelled up to $2.2 million.
Yeah, they're getting support.
And they won a tournament game where they had gotten bounced in the first round prior, right? Or did they win? Did it make any difference? I thought they got bounced in the first round last year.
I think they lost in the first round.
That's what I'm trying to think.
UCLA, I think. Let me think.
Yeah. They had a first round blowout loss last season, if I'm not mistaken, and now they had a shot at the Sweet 16, and they were down 4 with 8 minutes to go against the overall top seed. This is Coach Calhoun talking about it. This is via Jason Walker, who we had on the show on Friday.
They lost to UCLA last year.
Yep.
In the first round.
Yep. Here's Coach Calhoun.
Hang on 1 second.
So yeah, it was a time
2.4 million roster this year. I should be exact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And this is Calhoun.
Yeah.
Nate Tubbs with the East Village Times. Coach, this is the last time your players are going to have the Mountain West badge on their chest. How do you think this fight that you guys put up is a testament to the level of play that we'll see in the Pac-12 next season?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Mountain West is a storied conference. Brian Dutcher, Leon Rice, Richard Pitino, Nico Medved, all the great players over the years. I mean, what Brian Dutcher's done in the Mountain West is unbelievable. What Danny Sprinkle and Ryan Odom and Craig Smith and what we're able to do. The history of this league is really rich. It's a basketball conference, right? I mean, it really is. The fans, the environments. It's been a joy to coach in for 2 years. Obviously, the Pac-12, Gonzaga, they got to figure it out. They don't have football. They've got some built-in advantages financially. So I think every institution will have to figure that out. But it's an exciting time for Utah State going into a new conference. You're adding Washington State, Oregon State, Texas State, and all the great teams in our league. I think our university, our new regime, our president, our AD, our board, they get it. We made the change. It was really the old regime that did it, but the new guys are doing a phenomenal job. So I think it is exciting. Change is hard. I think at first everybody was, kind of bummed, but now everybody's excited.
Coach Garrett Lashford in Major Madness. So this is 4 straight tournaments. This is 2 second round appearances in the last 3 years. So as you guys move to the Pac-12 with Gonzaga, I understand that you break it down day by day, trying to do the best every day. Do you have like a concrete goal for where you want to be next year? Is that like a top 6 seed, or are you just thinking about finishing top 2 in your conference? Like what are you thinking?
What we learned this year from the committee, it's very hard for us, I guess, with 28 wins and a regular season title and a tournament title and pretty good metrics. I don't know where you can go, to be honest with you. I'm still flabbergasted we were a 9 seed.
Mark Ziegler, San Diego Union Tribune, you just spoke glowingly about the Mountain West, and Utah State's part of it. Was it disrespectful that no one from the Mountain West was here at this tournament? Every other team had conference representatives here.
Well, I think it was let's call it like it is, a very ugly breakup. I'm not in on those meetings. It's way above my pay grade. That's Cam's department. I think that's a question for Gloria and Nico and them. But I think we did the best we could the way we represented this conference, beating a Big East school and taking a 1 seed to a pretty close game. We can only do our part. We can't worry about that stuff.
Good stuff from Coach Calhoun. They want to keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. But I'm seeing some bad news on that.
They're not going to
front.
be able to keep him.
They're not. So Jeff Goodman, who is probably the most trusted college basketball insider in the business, he was on his Field of 68 show last night. Well, this was last night, 7 hours ago.
Yeah,
discussing Calhoun to Cincinnati, and this is what he had to say on that front.
Let's hit on Jared Calhoun losing today at Utah State, and I would expect this to happen fairly quickly at Cincinnati, where he went to school. I think that's a poorly kept secret that he is the front runner there, and again, I would expect that could happen as soon as Monday. What else?
Love that one, by the way. I think that's
Boston
a great hire.
College name.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think he'll
they
be
kind of
good.
go into another subject, but yeah, he says it could happen as soon as today.
yeah. I mean, you got to believe the text had already been sent. Hey, coach, good luck in the tournament. We'll talk as soon as you're ready to be done.
He's a Youngstown.
We're waiting for you in the wings. Like, we're not hiring. I mean, those messages had to have been sent to Coach
Right.
Oh
Calhoun.
yeah, absolutely. I think that we had this argument on Kansas State. I said he should never take the Kansas State job. It's not a job that he should fill because there are better ones out there. And is Cincinnati a better job? Probably, but he's got the hometown connection, the alumnus connection. I think that Utah State, Ryan Odom wanted to get back east. Craig Smith took the Utah job. I feel like Sprinkle took a bad job in Washington, but this one makes sense
But
for
he took
Calhoun.
the money.
He took the money. I
He
understand.
took the money.
I know, but
It's not a bad job if you get paid a lot more money, Paulie.
I
Let's be
know, but
careful with
Washington
the-
basketball sucks. So when's the last time they made the tournament?
The NIT?
No, the tournament. So
Oh, my
I think it's a
goodness.
bad job for him. And Smith, Utah. Utah basketball is a tough job.
I mean, Washington is in the Big Ten. Like, that's going to take some time there. Washington has put out some NBA products.
I know, but I have never seen Washington in the Sweet 16 in the last 15 years.
I understand that.
So,
I understand that.
yes.
But you got a big pay raise.
he got a big pay
He's got
raise.
some-
That's
yeah.
fine. That's good. But you can get a big pay raise from a better school if you waited another year
But
at Utah State.
after the disrespect of the seeding, I think that makes Coach Calhoun's decision a little bit
Correct.
easier to go to the Big 12 and join Cincinnati.
This presser that we just listened to is an indictment about Utah State's problem. Even if you have an amazing year in the Mountain West, you win the regular season and the tournament, you max out at a 9 seed. You finish even 8th in the Big 12 at Cincinnati, you're probably getting a 6 seed, 7 seed, like BYU did. They finished 10th in the Big 12 and got a 6 seed. So I think Calhoun realizes, just like every single one of these other Utah State coaches realizes, that they have tapped out their potential at Utah State. They've gone as far as they can go, and then it'll take a special group to go farther than the round of 32 at Utah State. Whereas at Cincinnati, more resources, more money. I think that he'll have a better career there. But I was vehemently against taking the Kansas State job.
You were.
I was, but I still think that Cincinnati, with his connections to it, he's not going to say no. So Utah State's going to lose another head coach.
So you were wrong.
I was wrong.
By the
He
way,
doesn't care about being the Logan legend and having a statue built after him.
I guess not. He's going to be gone to his his home school.
if Goodman is spot on, it's
think
not
Goodman's
official
gonna
yet.
be
It's
spot
not
on.
official yet. But even I could tell in Jason's voice Friday.
Yeah.
You weren't here, Paulie, but Tara and I had Jason on, and he's like, "Yeah, it looks likely." I mean, he's kind of alluding to the fact it's probable. Like he didn't come out and say it,
Right.
Yeah.
but they had a tournament to play.
Yeah.
And you don't want to take distraction away from the players and the fan base and the team. But you could tell that was a cloud lingering. At least they got him for 2 years. By the way, to answer your question, the University of Washington, last tournament appearance, 2019, they made the round of 32. They beat Utah State in the first round. They lost to the number 1 seed, North Carolina,
Yes.
in the round of 32. So it's been 7 seasons.
7 seasons.
Since
When's the
UW.
last Sweet 16 run? Probably even 20 years or more, I bet.
I didn't look that up.
Okay.
You didn't ask that. Now you're asking too many questions.
All right. I'm asking too many questions.
Yeah. So Utah State bows out. BYU bows out prior to that. and the Sweet 16 is set. We're going to dive into the Sweet 16. We're going to dive into the one seed that went down over the weekend. We'll dive more into the mid-majors that are lacking in this year's Sweet 16. There's a lot of fun things. I mean, there is some cool storylines still out there about NIL. The one that I found fascinating was, I don't know who put it out, probably Front Office Sports. You probably saw this, Paulie. Iowa State's NIL payroll versus Kentucky's.
Yeah.
10 million versus 20 million. Half the salary without their best player, Jefferson.
Yeah.
And the Cyclones still took care of business to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. So
yeah, that was impressive.
A lot of things that we can break down. A lot of basketball talk on a Monday here on the Fan Sports Network. We'll tee up a little Region 9 baseball. We got 2 games coming your way this week. Our coverage begins Wednesday. Dixie and Cedar continues Friday. Desert Hills and Crimson. We're all fired up for some ball and stick down at the Yard. Also, big deal, no big deal.
Yeah.
We got to get into it when we come back. We're off and running, open and rant. Utah State season comes to an end, and it's all brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Coral Canyon inviting you to get out and play. Plan ahead, get a tee time. Call 435-688-1700 or visit coralcanyongolf.com. We're back in a flash. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive. What's going on? Show today brought to you by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health, free testosterone test. Feeling tired on a Monday morning, didn't want to get out of bed, feeling a little run down from the week and the weekend. Go get your T tested. You need to know your T levels, more energy. You'll feel overall better. And, of course, you could be clinically low and you just don't know it. So get on over there for your free T test. And go check out all their 5-star reviews. You can hear from actual customers, and you can hear what they're saying about their experience with Game Day Men's Health. GameDayMen'sHealth.com/St. George. Or you can pick up the phone, call or text for that free T-test, 435-265-4223. They're probably not in the office just yet, but they will be here in about a half an hour. But you can text right now and say, hey, when you get a chance, get me booked for a free T-test, 435-265-4223. All right, only on a Monday. It's go time.
All right, let's get into it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and we are going to jump in with, how about this? The Utah Tech baseball team has accrued a 16-9 record with wins over Fresno State, UNLV, Austin Peay, and a sweep of UC Riverside. They currently sit much better than last year. They finished the season in 2025, 24-31 overall. So we've seen a rebirth from the basketball this year from last year. How about this? Big deal, no big deal. The rebirth and a great start to the season for Utah Tech baseball.
Interesting. Haven't played a single conference game yet, but you like what you see through the non-conference.
Yes.
16 wins, 9 losses, 64% winning percentage. They were 12-1 to start the season, or 13-1. They've cooled down just a little bit.
Sure.
But the competition has got stiffer.
Yes.
Coach Fate is a really good friend of mine. I think he's an unbelievable skipper. I know that was the program's first ever win over UNLV in program history over the weekend.
What'd you say it was, Tara? 11-1.
11-1.
Yeah, they smacked them.
Lost a heartbreaker the night before. They
Sure.
split.
Yeah.
They split.
Mm-hmm. But still, that's a big W.
But yeah, they look like the better team. I'm excited about the new pitching coach. I think we're seeing some of the dividends of a new pitching coach this year. I still get a little bit nervous. Like these midweek games against BYU are alarming. Last year we split with BYU. This year we get swept by BYU, and we give up, 18, 19 runs in those games.
Yeah.
I know you're treating them like a midweek bullpen game where you're pitching an inning, a guy here, 2 innings, another guy an inning, you're throwing 6, 7 different arms.
Right.
I don't necessarily know if you're Utah Tech. I know there's a reason and a method to the madness there.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're going to play BYU, though, who kind of Big 12 school, and you're going to play them at home, I'm guessing that, athletic director Ken Beazer would love to see you treat that like the Super Bowl, or the World Series, rather than a rest game load management type game. But that's what they did last year, and they split, and it worked.
Yeah.
So, look, the real meaningful games, the path to the regional all goes through the WAC, and they haven't played a single WAC game. But I will go big deal because it is a really good start. You're 7 games above 500 right now. So I'll go big deal on this one. I think Coach Fate and the boys are doing a heck of a job.
Yeah,
Tara?
I think it's a big deal. They are set up really nicely for once they do start the WAC play, which is in a week or two? Is it April 1st is the
WAC
first
play begins. I've got the schedule up here right now. It should be, let's see here.
After Sac State on the 2nd.
On this, the second.
So you got Southern Illinois 3 games set, and then you got St. Louis, the Billikens that we just saw in the March Madness, and then it will be April 2nd through April 4th against Sac State.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think they're ready. They're primed and looking good.
Cal Baptist, by the way, is 20-5.
Yeah.
Leading as far as the overall record of WAC schools. Tarleton State 16-7.
Yeah.
Utah Tech is sitting right now third, ahead of Abilene, Utah Valley, Sac State, and UT Arlington at 16-9.
All right.
Good question. Good question.
Yeah, I wanted to mix in a little baseball as it's going to be mainly basketball today. But let's go to another non-basketball one, then we'll dive into 3 straight hoops ones. As of Sunday per Money Puck, the Utah Mammoth currently hold a 94.5% chance to make the playoffs, while the Golden Knights sit at 82.2%. Obviously their recent skid hasn't helped things. Big deal, no big deal. Potentially having two, count them, 2 playoff teams in our local area.
Mammoth are trending up.
Yeah.
Mammoth are trending up 93%, 94%. I don't care. That's a really good odds. And if you would have been a Mammoth fan in their second year in Salt Lake City before the season, and you would have said, hey, we got a 90% chance to make the playoffs, you would have said, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll buy my jersey now.
Yes. I mean, we heard a lot of the players throughout the offseason saying it was a playoff or bust year.
Yep.
And I wanted to believe that, but I still wanted to see the combination of pieces together. And they've in spades proved that they are a good team and they are a playoff team.
Unless they completely collapse in the final stretch, because the teams chasing them are back a bit of the wild card spot.
Yes.
So they have a firm position right now.
On
And what
that
are we down to?
WC1.
11, 12 games is all we have
is
left.
all that Mammoth
11.
have. Yeah.
Now the Vegas Golden Knights, they're right there. They could still win the Pacific Division. Strong odds as well, but until they beat Dallas on the road yesterday, they were kind of reeling just a little bit. But they did what the Mammoth did about a week ago. They went down to the Stars home ice and got a win. I mean, they were up 1-0, and they trailed 2-1, and they tied it, and then they kind of got a 3-2 win yesterday. So I am going to go big deal, because hockey, the sport of hockey, has grown in my perception since the Knights got to Vegas, and now it's even grown more since the Mammoth came to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And so I think you're seeing a market in southern Utah that really was starved and really didn't have. They had pockets of strong hockey fans.
Yeah.
Some Av fans, some transplants that have retired to southern Utah. There's hockey fans everywhere worldwide.
Yes.
But the masses in our area are paying a lot more attention. I know a lot of people that have season tickets. I know business owners that have season tickets. I got friends that are going to Knights and Mammoth game. You guys are up and down the I-15 like
All the time.
you guys are giving me whiplash, like Salt Lake, Las Vegas, Salt Lake.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how many hours you're logging on the Tesla. I hope you don't get a flat tire. So, I mean, put some miles on that thing.
We do, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but big deal. I mean, playoff hockey, yeah, it's going to be center stage. And with the Jazz season being what the Jazz season is, I think there's a lot of people that are really excited about Utah Mammoth playoff hockey in the great state of Utah.
I think so, yeah. It's going to be really fun for both teams, the Knights, the Mammoth. I think it'll be a fun spring. I mean, with my team being out, the Caps not going to make the playoffs. I will latch on to these two teams and hope they make this
Which one
deep of a
is
run.
the more legitimate Stanley Cup contender right now?
I think you would have to say the Mammoth currently.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
You talking to me? Or you
I'm
talking to Tara?
me. I'm talking to me. I'm making that statement
You
to
said,
myself.
you said it in question form. You said it. Don't you? Like that was not very committed.
Well, I mean,
Aren't
from
they?
what I've seen over the last 3 weeks from the Knights, it's been an abject disaster. So I think the Mammoth are playing better right now. They're peaking towards the end of the season instead of faltering.
Yeah,
So
I
I would say
agree.
the Mammoth, the more legitimate chance to win a couple rounds in the playoffs than the Knights this year.
I disagree.
All right.
I disagree.
Disagree?
I think that you have guys that know what playoff hockey is, and you've got guys that have done that and won a Stanley Cup in Vegas. How many players on the Mammoth team have won a Stanley Cup? How many guys have even been in a playoff series? If you were drafted by the Coyotes, you've never played in a playoff series your
Sergachev's
entire
won
career.
one, right? He won one
Well,
with
yeah,
the Lightning, right?
they've got free
Yeah.
agents, and they've made a lot of moves. There's guys on that
Yeah.
roster. But the bulk of those guys that came from
They're
Phoenix
young.
to Salt Lake, they have
Yeah.
never even tasted playoff hockey.
Correct.
So from that perspective, I think you could make a pretty compelling point that the Knights are more legitimate contenders because they've climbed the mountaintop and know what it takes.
That's right. They've definitely been more
Jack Eichel's won a
battle-tested,
Stanley
I would
Cup.
guess. Yes. But I would say that their goaltending issues, there's been, I think before that Stars game, they went 15 straight periods without a forward scoring a goal. I mean, they've got some issues right now. They've got some issues.
They do. Aiden Hill looked really good the last couple starts, though.
Okay.
And
maybe he's trending up towards the playoffs, and that'd be good for him.
Look, I mean, 37, 28, and 6 is the Mammoth record. 32, 25, and 14, the Knights record. And the Mammoth have 2 more points than the Knights do right now.
Yeah.
They're 80 points, Knights are 7. So it's a fair question.
They're
really close in a lot of categories, including the standings.
Yes.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the Mammoth are in the Central Division, and so they've got Colorado, Dallas, like these Minnesota, just these monsters of teams this year. Otherwise, I think it'd be completely flip-flopped. We'd see Vegas down fighting for a wild card position and the Mammoth up.
If you switch their places. If you put the Mammoth in the Pacific.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get you. That's a great point.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, points-wise, you're not wrong, TA. I mean, Colorado, 102 points. Dallas, 97 points. Minnesota, 92 points.
Yes.
Anaheim currently leads the Pacific with 82 points. 82.
That's what I'm saying.
Point.
So, see, you would totally see a flip-flop. But yeah, we're in a tough division.
That hasn't been the case the last couple of years, though. The Pacific has been, because Edmonton and Vegas have been putting up over 100 points.
Yeah, that's right.
So there has been a little bit of a conference changing of the guard in the West between the Central, stronger than the Pacific right now. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That's a fair point.
It's a very fair point. I like it.
So, yeah, I agree with Polly. I think the Mammoth have a better chance of going deeper.
Okay, she agrees with me. Mark that down, somebody. All right, let's go to the next one here. Party like it's 1999. The Iowa Hawkeyes dethroned the reigning champs, 73-72 over the Gators, marking the end of my chance of winning any brackets, making Iowa's first trip to the Sweet 16 since 1999. So, wow, what a run and what a game that was. Big deal, no big deal. The reigning champs reigning no more.
Stunned.
Yeah, me too.
I'm silent. Season over just like that.
Yes.
This is the kind of... and look, I really think that Florida has a good team. It just Iowa just gritty, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Florida played so poorly and laid a Tyrannosaurus-sized dinosaur egg on this game. They had to fight back, take the lead, led by 5 or 6 down the stretch. Iowa battled back. Like, this game had a little bit of everything. But anytime you're the first #1 seed to fall, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You are.
It's
That's
a big deal. And you don't make the Sweet 16 as a 1 seed, the season feels lost. And when you're the defending champs trying to repeat, there is pressure, and then you don't make the Sweet 16. That seems even more monumental. So I am going to go absolutely 100% big deal. Florida falls 73-72. That game winner from the corner pocket, do we have that play?
No, I've actually got the final play of Florida. This is probably, you got 4 seconds here. You got plenty of time, 4 point whatever. And Xavier, is it Lee?
Yeah.
Xavier Lee.
Where is he going?
He transferred in, I think, from an Ivy League school. So he's a great shooter, and he's probably their fastest guy on the court getting up and down. So they throw it to him, but Iowa does a great job forcing him to the sideline. And then what is he doing at the end? Like, he can either lay it up. There's not enough time.
No, he couldn't lay it up. There was 2 players there. If he lays it up, it's blocked.
He should throw it up at least.
So
what
he tries
did was
to wrap
stupid.
around pass.
There
with not
wasn't enough
time.
time. So let's see it here. This is the last
Florida
sequence.
can run the baseline. Condon will inbound it to Lee. Lee across midcourt. Lee speeding toward the basket. Lee leaves it underneath. That's it. Iowa.
He should have. Once this double team came, he should have faded to an 18-foot baseline jumper.
Yeah.
In hindsight,
he's a shooter.
because you have to get a shot off. You cannot not get a shot off.
Yes.
And I said the same thing last night. I said, "What is he doing?"
I said that was what because my bracket went up in smoke as he was dribbling around. So I was like, "What is he doing?"
It was great defense.
Yes.
We'll play the buzzer beater later. I'm sure that worked out for the Johnnies. That was not great defense.
We got that for this segment. Yeah. That's another question.
But why do you not play the Iowa corner pocket 3?
Because I did didn't want to.
You don't want to give
He didn't want to
credibility to the team that knocked your champs out of your bracket. Bracket busted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what was funny on the group chat last night when I texted. I was like, "Party like it's 1999," and Paul was just crickets. There was nothing. He was like, "Yeah, I checked out."
Yeah, I was out.
I was out.
Kind of frustrated by that, but it is
Well,
what
look,
it is.
everyone
It's
should-
one game playoff, one game elimination.
Here's the truth, though. Everyone's freaking out about this game because this is why we love March Madness. Florida was the defending champ. They were a top seed. Iowa hadn't made a deep run in years. Their first Sweet 16 since 1999. Tara, well done. It's the first number 1 seed eliminated in the tournament. Translation: Paulie's bracket is cooked, as the kids say.
It's done. Beat, cooked, over, finito.
Benito.
You know, in this game, there was a
For you, it's not good.
earlier in the game, there was a heated scuffle. You know, Florida's coach was furious that there wasn't a. Todd Golden was furious there was no ejection. The same Iowa player that was involved hit the game winner. This game had a little bit of everything. Drama,
McCollum
upset.
and Golden were like screaming at each other on the sideline. They had to like force them away from each other. Back to your bench. Back to your bench.
Yeah.
Like it was getting heated in this game. So, I mean, good for Iowa though.
But
Even
Iowa, let me make this clear. Iowa didn't just get lucky. They outplayed Florida early and stayed tough late in that game.
They did.
And Florida had chances. They just couldn't finish. So underdog hangs around, chaotic ending, and a legendary March Madness moment. That's what that equates to.
And Iowa, for the longest time, they literally hired Fran McCaffrey. He was there from 2010 to 2025, 15 years, and they had not been to one Sweet 16 with him in that time. So they make a change. They hire a Drake coach, this McCollum, and he's got him in the Sweet 16. I mean, sometimes it just takes a change because Fran McCaffrey was a fine coach, but this guy obviously is sending Iowa to the next level.
Are you kidding me? Iowa just took down the defending champs last second.
That's right.
Good. The number 1 seed is gone.
You're
Brackets
too happy about
are
it.
busted.
You're too happy
March
about it.
Madness is officially here, baby.
There it is.
Yep,
Yes.
there it is.
All right, let's go to the next one. All right.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
All right, we're moving.
I'm curious. After Iowa beat your predicted champ, how
Yes.
far can Iowa go? We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. All right, here we go. Duke advances to the Sweet 16, but how about this fun fact that Tara alluded to me before the show? They have never won a national championship without beating St. John's along the way. And I'm here to tell you, big deal, no big deal. This is kind of a Duke and St. John's question. Big deal, St. John's defeating Darren Peterson and the Payhawks the other day. And do they stand, big deal, no big deal, their chance? Do they have a real chance? I think they do. So I'll make the statement. I believe St. John's will beat Duke. So big deal, no big deal, the potential upset, St. John's over Duke, who has never won a national title without beating St. John's along the way.
Look, I think that's an overreaction. I think you're riding high. Everything resets now. You get some time to prepare. You get in the film room.
Duke's out 2 starters.
Duke can reset, though.
Yeah, that other Boozer is not that good. Caden Boozer.
Yeah, he's popped for some games.
He's a backup for a reason. He did not start this whole year until Scott went out.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But-
I don't
but
think he's that good.
He's not as good as his brother. Is that what you're comparing him to?
No, I'm just
Cameron, or
comparing him to being the lead guard on a 1 seed team. I don't think he is.
Duke, you know, hey, Pitino's got a very athletic team.
Yes.
And they handled Kansas's bigs really well.
Yes.
And, you know, if they would have got down into the paint a little bit more, I think that could have been scary for the Johnnies. But they were able to attack and shoot the three pretty well. And Duke's going to have to go inside and use their size advantage because they're only 6'7", 6'8", 6'9".
But they got the defensive player of the year in the Big East and the player of the year in the Big East, and Zuby Ejiofor. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He is tougher than anybody on Duke's roster.
He's good.
He is tough.
You don't think Boozer's tough?
I think that Zuby's going to eat him up. I do. Yep. I think that St. John's wins and Boozer gets exposed in this game. So being a good college player.
Hot take.
Yep. We'll
Foley's
see.
back. Foley's back. Hot take.
I love St. John's. I've been on them all year, even in the regular season.
It's coming at a very credible time. Right after his predicted bracket champ, Florida gets beat. He's calling for a major upset and another #1 seed to go down.
Arkansas beating Arizona. I got St. John's beating Duke. I want the madness now. Now that my bracket's toast,
done.
give me some upsets. Give me all the people beating the 1 seed. So I'm going to go St. John's is going to beat Duke.
You can't even wait till Thursday for predictions?
Nope. I'm right here, right now, baby.
Yeah. The books disagree with you. Duke is 6.5-point favorites, and Arizona is 8-point favorites against Arkansas.
Give them all the points.
Yeah, you probably put $1,000 money line parlay on both those two teams. That's how confident you are, right? It sounds like.
Yes, I could be rich.
Yeah.
Off those two if they win, baby.
Yeah. Go ahead and do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Put your money where your mouth is.
I probably will do St. John's, but Arkansas a little bit of a longer shot.
Duke did not shine. I'm going to be in agreement with you. They did not look dominant fashion like a 1 seed should, but neither did Florida yesterday. And they're out, and Duke has survived in advance, and now there's a reset. So I think you're a little too giddy here. Look. St. John's is well coached.
Duke was down 11 to Siena.
This will be a battle.
This is not a great team right now. Without two
the
starters.
ACC is just not that great of a conference anymore.
Correct. They've got 1 team remaining. So.
The Big 10 and the Big 12 have kind of proved superior. I mean, the SEC's got, a couple teams in, and UConn's still representing the Big East. And there's
Tennessee, Vandy, a couple teams.
Texas.
Or not Vandy, they lost to Nebraska.
Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, all SEC schools.
Right.
So you still have 3 of the 10 that made the Sweet 7 exited, though. Stage left.
Right.
Yes.
Where you still have Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Purdue.
Michigan State. Yeah.
That's Michigan. That's 6 Big 10 teams out of the 16 in the Sweet 16.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, then you look at the Big 12. Iowa State.
Yes.
Okay, still in.
Arizona.
You still got Arizona still in. Houston still in.
Yes.
So you still have 3. So, it's and they had 8.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting. The SEC has got some teams. The Big 12 has got some teams. The Big 10 has got some teams. And then you have Duke.
Yeah.
Out of the ACC. Everybody else, pack your bags, they gone fishing.
All right. I got another one for you here. This is going to be, kind of a controversial one. But FanDuel, the sports betting app, put out a post on Twitter. Mark Few has 0 national championships in 27 seasons at Gonzaga. Big deal, no big deal. In the bottom of the tweet, is it time to move on? Wow. People are saying that about your guy.
Well, I mean,
big deal, no big deal. People are talking about moving on from this guy.
No.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal. People will always try to spark controversy and stir the pot, and that's all this is. Mark Few, I think, has a job until he doesn't want it. He has been so uber loyal. Like, there's been so many coaching jobs over the years that Mark Few would have been a great fit and could have went to a major university and a major conference and got a major pay raise, and he has stayed in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
And so no big deal whatsoever. Elite coach versus underachiever, that conversation is just ridiculous. And I'm constant top 10 teams, but still no national title. Like, I understand that criticism, but what is their payroll? They have some money.
Yeah.
They have some money. Multiple Final Fours. I remember going to the Final Four in Phoenix when they lost to North Carolina. I was in the building.
Yes.
And never holding that trophy. Braden Huff being out really hurt them. Really hurt them. I mean, that's a 17-9 guy.
Yeah.
And it really helps Graham Ike having Huff down there inside.
Sure.
So, no big deal. You're not going to suck me into that one, Paulie.
Yes.
Nice try. Nice try. Big deal, no big deal in the books. And we got it brought to you by our friends at Zag. Don't zig, just Zag. Get screen protectors that come with a lifetime warranty. 2 St. George, 1 Cedar City, Zag location. Stop in, tell them your friends on the Fan Sports Network told you to come on by. And if you ever break your phone, they'll do $20 off any phone repair. Just mention Devin, Dixon, and the Fan. We got to take a break. We're back in a flash to round out hour 1 on a busy Monday fun day on the sports radio leader, the Fan. Yeah! Monday Fun Day, sports fans. Hey, I want to give a shout out to all our listeners. We had a good turnout at our watch party Saturday over at the 20th hole at Black Desert Resort. Tara, was that the first time you'd been to the 20th hole?
Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you
It
think?
was. I liked it a lot. It was good.
Sweet.
It's
sweet.
a cool place too. Environment like the simulators and golfing and everything is great. The
Did you
food was
walk
amazing.
over to the other side where they got shuffle?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
shuffleboard,
shuffleboard
ping
and-
pong.
Yes.
All that.
Okay.
Yeah, watch party was a smashing bracket bash success. We're gonna be back over there with Chris from 95.9 The Hawk this Saturday. He's going to be out there broadcasting live. We're going to have another bracket bash, so we're inviting our listeners to go as well. I'll be popping back over there. I won't be broadcasting live this Saturday. The Hawk is, but I will be there. I will swing by. I'm going to go to my daughter's soccer game Saturday morning because my wife's out of town with my daughter at a drill competition.
All right.
I thought it was golf season.
I know. That's
Drill
what I
season.
asked you Saturday. I was like, is Vivi golfing? You're like, nope,
she
she's
does.
dancing.
She just
Yeah.
she hasn't been able to play in 2 of the last 3 tournaments. So don't get me started on that. But
Oh, wow.
My bad.
it is golf season right
About
now.
22 minutes ago. This is breaking.
Breaking news. Where's the
breaking
sounder? You're
news.
supposed to wait for Tara's sounder, Polly. Why do you have to ruin the sounder?
Ruin
I
it?
know.
Yeah.
I ruined it.
I
but,
know.
If I can
22
find
minutes
it.
ago. Is it really breaking for us if it's 22 minutes
22
old?
minutes, and we don't have much time before the end of this segment, but the Seahawks and wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba have finalized a
Extension.
4-year,
Record.
$168.8 million deal, making him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history.
Wow.
Okay.
The deal averages a whopping $42.15 million per year, and he also gets $120 million in guarantees.
Deserves every penny of it. What a year he had.
Yes.
And we're going to get his prime. I mean, $42 million per
Yes.
year
Biggest
on
cap
average.
hit in the NFL for a wide receiver.
Yep. That's why we didn't pay Kenneth Walker.
Yes.
Makes
Makes
that's
sense
why
now.
we didn't re-sign Tariq Woolen.
Right.
We're going to have to go address running back, cornerback, probably through the draft. We only have 4 draft picks. John Snyder might turn those into 5, maybe 6. We'll have to wait and see.
What would John do?
You're right.
He would turn 4 picks into 6. He'll trade down and maybe get 2 guys in the second round instead of a first round guy at 32. He'll trade down a couple spots, try to pick up an extra pick. But look,
Extra pick. Okay.
he is so confident. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, I mean, I think people, if you didn't know about him until last year, now you do. Like, you know, I've been high on him since he got drafted out of Ohio State. Weren't you with me in
was there.
Boston
Yes.
when we called, his name was called at the draft?
I was there.
And we both went ecstatic mode.
Yes.
Like, and now to lock him up again on 4 more years, highest paid receiver in the NFL, worth every penny for the defending, reigning Super Bowl champs. Oh, that's music to my
it's
ears.
great breaking news.
Hour 1 is breaking up, but hour 2 is coming up. Stick around. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 on the Fan Sports Network. It's The Drive. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff, Tara Atkin. Good second hour on tap for you today. If you had just jumped in the car heading home, we're going to get some headlines here in just a second. Our top 8 at 8, brought to you by One Health of St. George. Then after that, we're going to do a little path to the draft. There's going to be a pro day tomorrow at Desert Hills High School, Paulie. And one of the guys throwing and a couple other NFL hopefuls will be working out, and we're going to get all the details from Bronson Barron. I think he's even bringing one of his teammates in with him this morning, so we're going to get a couple players' perspective leading up to the draft next month. So that'll be kind of fun. Coming up next segment here live on the show. But quick shout out to One Health St. George, new board certified family medicine doctor. Dr. Turner is there with a decade of experience. He'll see everyone from newborns to kids to women's health. And yes, you can check your grandpa's blood pressure too. Truly family medicine. One Health St. George. Let's
get to this.
No fouls. This is going to be Darling. He's got to go. Darling puts it up. St. John's is going to the Sweet 16.
Love it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Patino acting like he's been there before, isn't he?
Yeah, because he has.
Because he has, yep.
And he will again.
Yep.
Final, Elite Eight at least. Elite Eight at least for my Johnnies.
All right, let's get to the top 8 headlines, but had to play that clip. We hadn't played it today. That was one of the more fascinating games of the entire opening weekend of March Madness. Let's start with the local stuff, and then we'll get into some of the national stories. But locally, I think Utah Tech baseball deserves some love. They took care of Fresno State and split with UNLV over the weekend. First program victory ever over UNLV down in Las Vegas. So congratulations to Coach Chris Fatenauer and the Blazers, who are now going to be heading out east. They're going to be heading out to... what are they? They've got to go
Midwest.
Midwest.
Southern Illinois.
Yeah, Southern Illinois, and they'll drop down to St. Louis. And then they'll be back for the WAC opener after that, back at the Bruce Hurst Field. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. But great weekend for the Trailblazers, playing some big programs. Had Fresno State at home, and then they had UNLV on the road the last couple of days. They're off to a 16-win and 9-loss start, and are in great position heading into conference play. They go get 3 out of 4 on the road here coming up, and they'll be in a great position going into WAC baseball action. Speaking of high school baseball, a lot of games are being played. A lot of teams were in action over the weekend. We will ramp up our high school baseball coverage starting this week. We will have the old rivalry game, Dixie and Cedar. That will be on Wednesday night. And then another broadcast coming away. How about a matchup between Desert Hills and Crimson Cliffs? So those are the matchups we will start our baseball coverage this week. I'm all fired up for that. If you haven't looked at the rankings, I think we mentioned it last week. Paul, you were gone, but Tara and I went down, and pretty big when you look at Desert Hills #1 in the state again this week at 12-1. They won all 4 games at the tournament they hosted over the weekend. 26-year-old skipper Jagan Levitt got the Thunder off to a 12-1 start. Wow. Timpanogos is #2, and then you've got Snow Canyon at 7-1 at #3, Crimson at 6-4 at #4, defending state champs, and then the Dixie Flyers 7-2. Right now, after some 9 games. So not everybody. Desert Hills played a lot more games than everybody else.
Right. Yeah.
But they are #1 in the latest standings or rankings. Those are according to the Des News this week. By the way, you look at everybody else. I mean, Desert Hills 12-1, Snow Canyon 7-1, Dixie 7-2, Crimson 6-4, Hurricane is 6-5, Pineview is 5-6, and Cedar is 4-8 so far. So everybody's starting to stockpile some wins in non-conference Region 9 baseball action. Those are really your main two local stories. I think the other one is up in Cedar City. I want to say the fourth consecutive year, the Flippin' Birds.
Yeah.
This is another 2026 MPSF champions. They went undefeated in the conference, and they are running hot. Can't wait to see what's next for the Flippin' Birds. Stunning Southern Utah comeback attempt falls short in the WNIT. They were down in Santa Barbara yesterday afternoon, and they lost a heartbreaker 85-80. So T-Birds got into that women's NIT, but came up 5 points shy, and the season is now officially come to an end. And one other interesting note, the SUU men's golf team is playing a storied course. First round was yesterday. Second round is getting underway here momentarily. They're playing Torrey Pines down in La Jolla, California.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Udon leading the way after the first round yesterday, sitting there at level par. They're playing the North Course, par 72, 7,258 yards. Air Force is there. Cal Baptist is there. Loyola Marymount, San Diego, UC Irvine, UC Santa Barbara. Weber State is also in this tournament. Creighton, among others. So those are kind of your local headlines making news right now.
I got regional. We had both teams in hockey action last night. The Golden Knights defeated a very good team on the road, the Stars, 3-2. Riley Smith scored a goal. Aiden Hill had 13 saves. Wow, only 13 shots. That's pretty amazing for the Stars. And they win their first game in what seems like a minute, but they have been going through a little bit of a struggle there with the Knights. But they do pick up 2 points in a pivotal game against the Stars. And the Mammoth were in action last night as well, as we had another Wasatch walk-off. Let's get I got to find the TV guy's name. We've looked it up before, but he does a great job, and this was his call last night as the Mammoth win in OT over the LA Kings.
Start in Vegas, and here again in overtime, a huge chance missed for LA.
Stenlin and Byfield. We are in overtime here tonight in Salt Lake City. Stenlin trying to play it back. Sergachev working over Byfield. Comes away with it. Stenlin, and now out with it. Maybe a 2-on-1. Schmaltz is in. Schmaltz shoots. He scores! Big Nick! And a big game-winning goal for the Utah Mammoth!
No Wasatch walk-off this time, but I was wanting that.
You're killing me, Schmaltz.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember the name, Matt McConnell.
Matt McConnell. All right.
Matt McConnell. Mike Folta.
Radio.
Is the radio. Yeah.
We have met him.
Yeah. Mike does the radio, and Matt does I guess it would be KUPX TV, Mammoth Plus games.
Utah 16.
Yeah.
Broadcasted every game, right?
They had the Mammoth game the other night on one of the main sticks.
Oh, nice.
Network TV.
Was it the Knights?
It was on
Vegas?
Fox. It was on Fox, I believe, or I think it was on Fox.
I don't think hockey does Fox, right?
I don't know what channel. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, NHL Network or something.
No, it was on one of the local channels.
Yeah.
Not this game, but the one prior.
Maybe when they played the Knights on the road, potentially.
I can't remember, but I was like, oh, cool, they got that game on.
All right. I like it.
Yeah, it was March Madness, so I didn't watch it. I was watching March Madness.
That's right. And so was I. I missed a lot of the hockey this week, but the Mammoth and Knights both win last night.
Yep, big stuff there. Nice job. We'll see. The playoffs are right around the corner.
Yes,
for
April 19th,
both
right?
teams. Yeah, and everybody's jockeying for position. Everybody's just got 10, 11, 12 games left on the schedule, depending on who you're looking at. College basketball, the big storylines, of course, no mid-major makes the Sweet 16, but you do have the Iowa Hawkeyes as a 9 seed knocking off the 1 seed Florida Gators.
I'll get you the shot, even though I didn't want to do it.
The number 1 seed and defending champs are out and out early as Iowa hits a 3 from the corner pocket. It was a really well-designed play where he faded to the corner, stepped back, got behind the line, and brackets across the country, including Paulie's, are done.
Yes.
Cooked. crashed, broken, smashed.
Yeah, this was the call yesterday as Iowa stuns Florida and me, frankly,
and you.
with this kind of game-wrecking 3 for them.
Sturts with the catch. Sturts bounce pass to the corner. Fulgaris for 3. Oh! Behind the play.
Florida's got no timeouts.
Iowa takes the lead by 1.
They didn't have any timeouts, but they did review it to see how much time was actually left on the clock. And then Florida's attempt at a shot never got off. They drive it all the way in, try to wrap around pass that it was just too crowded, not time for that. And
great defense.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes.
Yes.
Beat the number 1 seed. Duke and St. John's, after St. John's wins on a buzzer beater, they will meet. That's going to be, there's some great matchups this Thursday and Friday in the Sweet 16. Oh, my goodness.
There are some great ones.
Oh, I'm fired up for the Illinois game.
Yes.
Because I have
Houston.
Illinois going to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's an interesting pick in one of your brackets, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That would be the Canyon Media
see, you got to specify.
Employee pool.
Good
where
for you.
I've got, that's my sneaky pick where I can separate from the rest of the field.
Yeah. Where it can be a wolf pack of 1. That's
yes, he wants to be a wolf pack of 1.
Breaking news, we got it to you earlier as it broke, but Jackson Smith-Njigba, the reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year, has reached a new agreement with the Seattle Seahawks on a 4-year, $168 million contract extension.
Yes.
It now makes him the highest paid wide receiver, not only in the league, in NFL history. The deal averages $42.15 million per year and includes over $120 million guaranteed, both setting records for a wide receiver. With this new agreement, Jackson Smith-Njigba is tied to the Seahawks for the next 6 years through 2031. I don't have to replace my JSN jersey for a long time. Woo!
You just have fight polyform and fantasy football drafts.
Does this put pressure on the Rams to get Puka in his extension done?
Potentially.
Yeah.
He's been out having a little fun this summer.
Yeah,
Or this spring, I should say, since the season ended.
Doing side quests to try and get a date with Sydney Sweeney.
Right.
He's been trying to find his parked car for a while too.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. You saw that video where he was with the black Suburban and his buddies had to turn around and get him in the right car.
He was definitely imbibing that night.
Yes.
He might have been overserved, maybe. Overserved.
Could be. Other headlines, Creighton coach McDermott has announced his retirement.
That's crazy. He's been there forever.
So Kentucky is out with their worst tournament loss since 1972. You wonder what that means for Coach Mark Pope and the Wildcats as they got knocked out yesterday.
A lot of smoke about Hubert Davis and
North
UNC
Carolina,
making a decision on him. That just seems terrible if they do fire him. I know he had a bad loss and a huge blown lead, but his best player wasn't even on the floor. Like, his best player all year long was out. So I don't really agree with that, but he could get the axe as well, and we're going to be on Calhoun watch this entire show if the news breaks, because I'm seeing tweets from On3, the latest intel on Jared Calhoun. So, and it's behind a paywall, unfortunately, but so Calhoun will probably move on to Cincinnati, as Jeff Goodman alluded to in his Field of 68 podcast he was talking about. We played the clip earlier in the show.
The other headlines that we haven't got to, and we probably don't have time, so I want to mention them now real quickly. I know these are bonus balls for you. We've already got to 8 headlines easily, but Matt Fitzpatrick, little redemption after losing last week. He bounces back and wins this week at the Valspar.
Yes.
Heartbreaking loss, but then, man, he must be 68. 3 of the 4 rounds and a 69 in the second round. He's 11 under par, wins by 1 over David Lipsky, by 2 over Jordan Smith, by 3 over Xander Schauffele and Sung J M.
The Sun Man. That's my guy. Good for him getting a T5 or a top 5.
He was first for quite a bit,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
I saw that on my phone.
First 2 rounds, yeah.
Because I have him as one of my starred golfers,
Oh,
so it
okay, so
updates me how he
Well,
does.
he shot 64 in the first round, so he had that overnight lead after the first round, but he shot 74 yesterday, 3 over par. If he just shoots even par, he's in a playoff with Matty Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Of course, the Masters is looming.
Yeah, we'll have to do our draft.
It's coming.
Yes.
To NASCAR, guess who won again?
Yeah.
As an owner and a driver, this is now 4 wins out of 6 races for Tyler Reddick. No relation to JJ Reddick.
Right.
Tyler Reddick winning for Michael Jordan's 23 IX Racing, co-owned by Jordan and Denny Hamlin, who drives for Joe Gibbs Racing. And how about Tyler Reddick joining Bill Elliott and Dale Earnhardt Sr. as the only NASCAR drivers ever to win 4 out of the first 6 races? Simply a red-hot, unbelievable start, a dream start for Jordan's race team and for Tyler Reddick.
You think he knows as a dream start? This is him after Reddick wins. We got a little video here of Jordan jumping over the wall and being hyped with the crew after the big win.
He still got it.
He still got it.
Well, he's making money.
Domination.
The whole crew gets a nice little dap up from MJ. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Michael Jordan, he's putting eyeballs on the sport.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
And Tyler and his wife and the crew and the celebration picture, they're all holding up 4 fingers. I mean, Tyler, the creator of Darlington. How about this stat, though? Dave Blaney's son, Ryan. You know, you got Bill Elliott's son, Chase, and Dave Blaney's son, Ryan. Yeah. Ryan passed 50. The pits, they screwed up. I was watching this yesterday with my son for a few minutes. Didn't watch the whole race, but watched some of it in between games when there was a gap in the March Madness games in the afternoon. He passed 50 cars at Darlington.
Wow.
That's incredible.
50 cars to take second place. So another little nugget if you want to stump somebody. Tyler Reddick is from Corning. Ever been to Corning, California? I didn't even know Corning was a town.
Nope, never been.
And unbelievable stuff out there in South Carolina. I mean, they changed to a more robust battery, and that battery change moved him to the back of the field, and they had trouble on the right front tire during the team's first green flag pit stop to compound the issue, and it was a 16.3-second pit stop that cost Reddick 6 positions in running order, but a final stage collision with Chris Buescher made a late signal to come to pit road, and that cost him some valuable time. But he overcomes all of this, and he puts the 45 team back in victory lane. Unbelievable stuff. 4 out of 6 joining Senior and Elliott. This is incredible.
Yeah.
This is incredible. By the way, there was one other really cool thing I want to point out about the NASCAR for our NASCAR fans out there. Brad Keselowski was running a paint scheme yesterday to honor the late Greg Biffle, who, of course, died in that tragic accident and was a former RFK racing driver. What was the plane crash back in December, I believe it was, that took the Biff from us. And I liked Greg Biffle as a race car driver. I thought that was pretty cool as well. All right. We'll take a time out. Lots more coming up when we come back. We got NFL hopefuls going to join us in studio. We'll talk about the path to the draft. SUU quarterback Bronson Barron, I believe he's bringing in one of his teammates as well. They're going to be both working out at the Pro Day tomorrow at Desert Hills High School. It'll be interesting to see how many scouts we can get back to St. George, Utah for that. And we'll talk about everything to do with getting ready for the upcoming NFL draft, which, of course, is next month. Stay tuned. We're back in a flash on the Fan Sports Network. I'm all fired up for a couple reasons. One, we got some very special guests in the Finley Hyundai studios right now. Finley Hyundai, go check them out. Exit 13, where you can get 0% on the Santa Fe or the Tucson. Right now, 0%. You pay zero, nothing. Nada, zilch, zero. Finley Hyundai, go check them out on the saving side of the freeway, but just a new location off Exit 13. The other reason I'm excited is because my guy JSN just resigned. Largest contract in National Football history for a wide receiver. And so I'm all fired up for a couple of reasons here on a Monday Fun Day on the Fan Sports Network. Let me introduce our guests. Sebastian Adamski and Bronson Barron are in studio with us. Couple of T-Bird football football players getting ready for the draft, and wanted to have these guys in and kind of talk about what the path to the draft looks like, feels like, and has been like over the last not just a couple weeks, probably since the season ended, right, Bronson? I mean, you guys have been on the grind since that last football game of the year.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I feel like I could speak for Seb. We stayed in touch the whole time, but I would say we probably each took two weeks off, kind of let the body heal up. We were both a little bit banged up from the year, but after that, it was time to roll.
So take me through. Let's start with you, Bronson. What's this process been like for you? I know you went out and you've went and seen Beck a couple times. Yeah. Like, you've been throwing with anybody and everybody. I'm sure you're working on your 40 time and all the intangibles, cone drills, all that stuff.
Yeah. So, like you said, first off, signed with an agency. I signed with Be the Best Sports Group. My agent, Chris Ellison's awesome. And then his partner, Will Snowden, Omar Morgan, have been phenomenal as well. So they've been great help in getting me set up where we felt would be the best for me to train, for me to throw, wherever it was. So they actually had us from Cedar move back up to Utah County. We were up there, and I was training with Ethan Wright. He was one who's doing all my speed work and all my training aspect of it. And it was a blessing because I've been working out with Ethan since I was 13 years old, so he knew my body better than anyone else, and it was a huge advantage to get back with him after a couple years off.
Now, wait a minute. You're married now. He knows your body better than your wife?
Oh, Devin.
In certain aspects, Dev. Certain aspect, Dev.
I'm just kidding.
But, yeah, so been up with E, and then, they were having me go to Southern California with the 3D QB guys and spent some time down there and really just kind of tuning up the pro day script, tuning up the footwork, everything. So it was, it was a blessing to experience both those things.
I love it. How much faster are you? What specifically have you been working on?
Definitely the start of the 40. I think, just being a little bit more twitchy, getting out. I think that also, it can be applied in just normal quarterback play, right? If a play breaks down, being able to be quick and twitchy or getting out of the pocket to extend plays. So definitely the start was a big part, and then kind of transforming my body. And I feel like we have done both those things.
You didn't get to throw the ball maybe as much as you would have liked to this season because you had a guy in the backfield that was running roughshod over everybody. And if it's not broke, you can't go fix it. I mean, you guys had to run the football. You had a good offensive line, and you guys were really good in that department. Were you happy with your senior season, though, and your career as a whole in college football? You got a lot of tape out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think, this was probably my most efficient year. Right. I felt like I played very efficient all year, and I think there wasn't really anything that I had seen that was like, oh, crap, what do we do here? Right. And that goes to our coaching staff as well as having me prepared. But, I think overall I'm a 5-year starter. I've played in a bunch of football games. We were having this conversation yesterday. I was like, man, like I've started in over 40 games, and I've won 28, 29 of them, so felt like I've had a pretty decent career, and I've won a lot of games, seen a lot of stuff. So I feel very fortunate to do what I've done the past 5-6 years of college football. So
talk about the journey. You start at Weaver State, right? And then you go out to the Hilltoppers, and then you come back and finish up at SUU. Right. I mean, what did you learn at each stop? Was there people that you gleaned from that just have made you a more complete player?
Yeah, I think Weaver State was phenomenal, right? Had a lot of success there. Went in there, started as a true freshman, won a conference championship as a true freshman with those guys up there, and was very blessed and fortunate to play under Jay Hill. Learned a ton from him, and I credit a lot of my success to my first offensive coordinator, who's Matt Hammer. That guy really, I owe a lot of my success in college football to him. That guy spent so much time with me and was so willing to teach me the ins and outs of the offense, of collegiate defenses. So a lot of my success I do give to him. And then just my teammates up there. I played with Rashid Shaheed for 2 years, Tyler McPherson, Winston Reed, the Atongi brothers. There were so many, and the list could go on and on, right? But just learned and grew with each of those guys and saw what it was like to play at a high level at a beginning of my college career, right? Which was a blessing. And then I go to Western Kentucky, and, it was a pretty brutal year, right? I think in the recruiting sphere, you kind of are told what you want to hear, right? And I kind of let that get to me. But for me and my wife, it was the best thing. Be on our own, grow with each other. But when it came to football, man, like quite frankly, it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But so then Western Kentucky, Austin Reed
was there.
So I really was able to build a close relationship with him and he's been a great help throughout this process, right? He's been through it. So I'll give him a call. Hey, what do you think of this? Or what is something that you wish you would have done? And so building that relationship with teammates there was big. And then coming to SUU, you know, it was good to come home, be close to family and, you know, meet guys like Seb who transferred in my last year here and build a relationship with him. And, you know, so it was a journey for sure, but I wouldn't change it.
And now you both are pursuing next level college football. Just wanted to, or no, not college football, but the next level of football.
Yeah.
And obviously there's stories like Tyson Badgett, the guy that was at D2, Shepherd, small school in West Virginia. So I've always said if you can play, they'll find you. So tell us a little bit about this pro day you guys are going to be doing together.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, we being smaller school guys, we both are kind of like, hey man, like we understand the situation we're in, right? When I was out there in Southern California, I'm working out with Garrett Nussmeyer, who's a late first rounder. You know, I'm there with Taylon Green, who just ran a 4.37 at the combine, right?
Yeah.
So all these guys who are getting a lot of buzz and are going to be drafted, right? And so for us, it's like, hey, and for me, it was a gut check being out there. Like, yeah, I can spin it with these guys.
Yes.
You know, their path was different than mine, and good for them. I hope everything goes well for them. But like, man, I can spin it. You know, and so, but yeah, we understand our situation's a little bit different. And so at the end of the day, it's my attitude is I got to control everything I can control, right? I got to make sure I'm looking good. I'm making sure that I'm moving well. When it comes to throwing, like I'm hitting my spots, right? And after pro day, it's kind of like, hey, I've done my job. Now it's kind of whatever happens, happens.
What are you going to do at pro day? What you're gonna throw, obviously. Who are you throwing to? Are you gonna run the 40? I'm sure. You're gonna do the cone drill. What else are you gonna do?
So I'll do the shuttle, the 5-10-5, 3 cone, 40. I'm not gonna bench, and I'm probably not gonna jump. As a quarterback, I don't feel like those 3 are that important for me. But and then obviously throw, and I'll be throwing to Devin Downing, Chance Arbin, Josh Acord, and David Spew.
Love it.
So 4 guys I played with last year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's bring in Sebastian here for a minute. Sebastian only what 1 year, right? Came from Drake, if I remember correctly.
From Drake University, yes, sir.
That was a big change there. But man, you racked up over 100 tackles, man. Talk about the path to the draft for you and bring us up to speed on your college career.
Yeah, so like you said, I started at Drake University. I played there. I got there in 21, and then I left at the end of 24. My senior year, I was like the guy like they handed the keys to, so that was really fun. That's when I had my best season. And the year before that, I started on like what we called base, but we changed up our defense a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Drake was absolutely amazing. It definitely helped me become the man I am today. My favorite part about Drake is it helped me get really close with God, so that was really cool. Like that was a big emphasis there.
Is that a private church-owned school, religious school, Drake?
No, but we had like our team chapel. And he like was very like involved with the team, like would travel with us and everything, and like would like do FCA before games, and that was something that like really helped me and like just calm down before games. So that's something I still try to do today and keep working on. So that was definitely something important. And also like the brotherhood at Drake is something that is just unmatched. The team there is just very tight. Like as a freshman, there was 5th years who knew where I was from, what position I played, like my family, like all that stuff. So that was something that was really cool.
That is awesome.
Helped me become the man I am today. And I was actually supposed to go to UNI with my coaching staff, and then just some stuff happened and didn't get like the offer that I was supposed to. So luckily SUU offered me, and a big thing was I wanted my dad to be able to see a lot of my games this year. So luckily I'm from Tucson, Arizona, so it was like 8-hour drive, and he was able to come to all the home games. But I was really happy I came to SUU, got to meet great guys like Bronson and Josh Dunn and a bunch of other people who like really helped me also become a better man. But yeah, luckily I've had a really good career. I have over 250 tackles, started probably around 30 games. Yeah.
The tape doesn't lie. You got a high motor. You got strength too. I mean, you can see this guy's built for the linebacker position.
40 solo tackles. That takes a lot.
I would say you play with passion and intensity and relentless effort. Is that a fair assessment of your game?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Try to. Yeah. When I out there, I truly believe when I'm out there, I'm like the best football player. Not in like a cocky way, but like I feel like that's the way you should play football. Like believe you're the best.
600-pound back squat. Is that accurate, or
Yes,
is that
sir.
even? Can you even do more now?
No, I don't know about now because the pro day training was a little different. But yeah, Zach Strand did get me very strong. So shout out to him.
What is your training consisted of? What are you getting ready for, and what are you going to do tomorrow at the pro day?
Yes, sir. So mine was a little different because I actually got hurt at the end of the season. My knee got messed up a little bit, so I had to take like 2 months off, where I just had to slowly like just walk again, stuff like that. And then when I got there, I trained in Colorado Springs, so elevation's a lot higher. So I had to do like acclimation week, where it was just like a lot of conditioning and whatnot. But after that, we just hit the ground running, and mine was very like Bronson said, like working on the fast twitch muscles, like getting off the ground fast, like touching ground fast, exploding fast, while still like jumping as high as I could. We really focused on my 10-yard start, because the start is everything, especially as a linebacker. I play in a 15 by 15 box. I'm never going to be running 40 yards in a straight line, so I need to be able to make sure I can get to 10 yards as fast as possible. And then I'll also do the 5-10-5 L cone. I'll bench. I'll do the broad jump, and I'll do the vert. So I'll participate in everything.
What's the goals? Can you give me some goals you have for some of those?
So bench, my goal is 20 to 21. I hit 19 right before I leave. So hopefully with the guys hyping me up and
little adrenaline.
Yeah,
flowing.
exactly. Yeah. Hopefully
That's
I can
good
get
for
that.
2 reps.
Yeah.
My vert, my goal is 34. My broad, my goal is 9-1. My 5-10-5, my goal is 4-3. My L cone, my goal is 6-8. And my 40, my goal is 4-7-5.
And put that in perspective for our listeners. Where would that rank, if you hit all your goals, where would that rank among linebackers that worked out in those same areas at the draft combine?
Yeah. So if we're going based off the guys who got invited to the combine, so those are like deemed the highest prospect for that position. My L cone would actually be first. I would be first by like by 1/10 of a second.
Wow.
So I'm really happy about that. My 5-10-5 would put me at third. My bench, I think I'd be like top 7. My vert would be like top 5, and my 40 is not the best, but I have luckily a good 10-yard split. So that's like what I'm really focusing on, is to show
explosive
that I'm
quickness.
explosive and fast. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the goal? 4.7, 4.8?
Yeah, 4.7, 4.8.
4.7, 4.8. Yeah. So quickness over speed sometimes matters.
Yeah, I'd say the RAS or that relative athletic score would be really high there. A lot of those numbers, amazing.
I'm talking with Sebastian and Bronson, a couple of SUU T-Birds getting ready for the pro day tomorrow. Is it open to the public, guys? Or is it just private workout with scouts at Desert Hills?
That I'm not. I know like it's like family are allowed, but I bet like if someone walked in, they wouldn't say anything per se. But
yeah, what about media?
Yeah, I think you guys could definitely be there if you guys like, hey, we want to cover this.
Working on. Paulie's got nothing going on tomorrow.
Yeah,
there's no March Madness games tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's go back to Bronson for just a second. Do you know how many scouts have committed that they're going to come, or is that always a little bit of a crapshoot and you kind of got to wait and see? And how many other of your teammates are working? This is just the SUU pro day, correct?
Yeah. So it's just us SUU guys. I'm not sure about the scouts. I think it's kind of just. I mean, I think each guy's agent probably has a clue, right? And so I do know there will be certain organizations there, just who I've heard from my agent. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think we'll just show up, see who's there, and whoever's there, just put on a show, right? That's something, again, you can't really control, and all I can control is how I go and do my job. But yeah, so we do have 5 other guys working out with us. We have Josh Dunn, who played linebacker for us.
Yeah.
Lando Brown, our D-end, who was a 2-time All-American, led the country in sacks.
Wow.
Ed Riley, who I think is the best center in college football, and I'll stand by that. And then we have our long snapper, Gavin Lipkin, who's actually getting a lot of buzz, so we're happy for Gav. And then our punter, Elias Vigil.
You don't think about the long snapper, but there's
great
32
job.
of those.
Yeah.
You snap, you can't
You want
get
that
hit,
job, yeah.
and you make a nice NFL salary.
Yes.
Like, I want to be an NFL long snapper.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
He's got a good gig.
Yeah, but but there's some pressure on that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can't make a mistake.
It's a precision type thing. You got to be perfect every
And
time.
quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have one
Accurate.
job. So if you mess it up, everybody's ticked. It's like the kicker. You
I
know?
mean,
right.
you remember Weber State 2022 at Montana State?
That was a mess.
You remember it?
Oh,
Not-
the snaps over the head
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Not gonna get into the details.
Oh,
It's an
Why are
important
you
job.
bringing that
Yes,
up?
It's an important job. That's why I'm
It is
saying how
very
important it
important.
is.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah. Bronson Bear and Sebastian Adamski here with us in studio, hanging out, getting ready. What time does the pro day start tomorrow?
9 a.m.
Bright and early before it gets a little hot. Should be good.
Yeah.
And it'll probably go, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
I would say 2.5.
By the time you run everything?
position drills and everything are done. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
Can't wait for a fall. Can't wait to see what happens. What's the buzz for you guys? What are your agents telling you right now? I mean, this is a very important day, obviously, to
Right.
really get on their radar and have a good workout.
Yeah, there's been buzz, which is good, right? I probably won't go into details, but yeah, it's good, and hoping for the best.
This is not that deep of a quarterback draft class, is it? From most of the prognosticators.
I mean, a lot of the analysts, they're saying it's not that big, which for a smaller school guy is a blessing.
That's great,
right?
yeah.
There's not as many big name guys that they're worried about, so just really hoping. Right at the end of the day, I think it is, like I said, man, I played a lot of ball. I have a lot of wins under my belt, and so hopefully my film speaks for itself, and it's kind of what we're looking for. And I have a great agent who is an advocate for me. So
that's great. That's great. I mean, even if you're not drafted, you got to be hoping to at least get a free agent camp invite, right?
Obviously,
just a chance. That's all you need is a chance to showcase and get me to camp.
Yeah, me and Seb both feel that way. If that door's open, I just got my foot in there, and I feel confident it will stay in there. So,
Seb, what is your agent telling you? What's the latest on everything?
Yeah. So luckily, I signed with Drew Rigsby with Athlete Assets Protection. So very good people over there. They're very nice. They would text me like once a week and always check in and whatnot. But I know during the season I had a few teams coming to practice to watch me and whatnot. So right now it's just I gotta go tomorrow and perform, and then from there he's gonna do his job, and try to sell me. But like Bronson said, like I know as for me, I'm a smaller school guy, so I mean I'm not gonna get drafted, but that's okay. Like I just want a chance, and I know if I can get a chance, that I can go out there and perform with anyone else.
How tall are you?
I'll probably get in at like 5'10" and 5'8" or something like that, but the roster says 6 foot, so we're gonna say 6 foot.
There you go.
I was wondering on the pie chart, what do your agents tell you as far as how much does tape versus your combine? Like what percentage of it matters, or is it more tape, more combine, or is it really close?
As for me, I think my agent has been very clear. Like you have very good tape, and like luckily I had back-to-back 100 tackle seasons.
Yeah.
So that speaks on consistency, and that's something
production.
NFL wants
Yeah.
to see. So he's been very like you have very good tape, so don't worry about that. Like that's gonna mean more, because at the end of the day, they want to see you play football. Like, yeah, I understand. Like, they want to see how fast I am, but like, never in football do you run 40 yards in a straight line, or never are you going 5 yards, touching a line, going 10 yards, touching the line, and come back. Like that's just not. They just want to see how athletic you are. But like, yeah, I think the tape is what really
matters.
For what type of player you are.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks for talking about the journey, and we wish you nothing but the best tomorrow. Have a great workout, and we'll follow up. We'll follow, and hopefully we'll see what the future holds, as they say.
For sure.
Bronson Barron, Sebastian Adamski hanging out with us here. A couple of SU T-Birds are going to be over at Desert Hills tomorrow, showcasing for hopefully a bunch of college scouts. Bronson's playing that kind of coy. I don't know. He knows there's going to be a few there. I know. I can tell by that, but how many? I don't know. Guys, best of luck. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, lots to get to. A little bit more on JSN, record NFL contract, and Paulie, his champ is gone. What's he going to do now? Is he going to redo a Sweet 16 bracket? We'll find out next on the Fan Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive. Thank you to all our great sponsors, Game Day Men's Health, Zag, Coral Canyon Golf Course, our friends at One Health St. George, as well as our friends at Prime IV. And you gotta love, everybody's journey is just a little bit different. And you gotta love the optimism and the work ethic. These guys are going in, maybe not a 7th round draft pick. They know that they're just trying to showcase to just get a camp invite to sign as a free agent with a team to get a shot.
Yeah.
And Bronson Barron was throwing touchdown passes to Rashid Shaheed when he was a freshman at Weber State. And then, it didn't work out going to the Hilltoppers, that transfer. That was rough, he said. But then coming back to Utah, a really good year. If they beat San Diego, they're in the playoffs. And that would have been really big for both these guys to showcase their talents, in the FCS playoffs.
Yes.
So the path of the draft, and for a lot of our smaller market teams like Utah Tech, like SUU, like Weber State, that are in the state of Utah, they don't have the number of scouts or players trying out that the Utes have or the Cougars have or any SEC team has or any Big 12 team has, whatever the case might be. So these guys really are relying heavily on a really good pro day tomorrow. That was fun to have Sebastian Adamski and Bronson Barron on the show. The big headlines on a Monday, the breaking news, Jackson Smith-Njigba record extension with the Seattle Seahawks. Paulie, was it worth the money? $42 million a year, $120 million guaranteed. He has been very durable in his first 3 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks.
I think this is a pretty fair market deal. You go out and lead the league in the receiving yard category, the receptions. I think you're going to get a huge bag of money, and that's what happened. So it's kind of just the going rate for elite receivers. So I think they paid what they had to pay. So it's a deal that had to be done, and they did it.
Just to put it in perspective, Jackson Smith-Njigba's salary eclipses the previous high for wide receiver, which was Jamar Chase. His deal with the Bengals, which has an average annual value of $40.25 million. So he gets 40. Let's see what I say.
46 or something is the cap hit at least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 42.15 is the average
annual
per year.
Okay.
So just a little less than $2 million more per year than Chase.
Yeah.
Third in the league is Justin Jefferson. He's at $35 million.
And all
CeeDee
those
Lamb
deals
is
were
fourth.
done years ago.
Correct.
So this is the newest deal of an elite guy. So he's going to reset the market, as they say.
Yep.
And this is just how they do business in the NFL.
Well,
whenever it's your turn, it's time to get your big deal.
And look, everybody wanted Kenneth Walker back. But did you want Kenneth Walker back, or did you want Jackson Smith-Njigba through 2031?
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't pay everybody.
Organization made their stance clear by the way they handled free agency and then giving out this deal.
Yep. I mean, you had to let Reek Woolen walk. You had to let Jake Bobo walk. You had to let Kenneth Walker walk. You had to let Kobe Bryant, your starting safety, he signed with the Bears. You had some casualties, and now today you kind of understand why John Snyder did what he did.
I understand.
So it's now Jackson Smith-Njigba, highest paid receiver in the league. Jamar Chase is second. Justin Jefferson third.
I can see clearly now. The
CD
rain is gone.
CD, what do you mean?
It's a Seattle joke. The rain's gone. You can see everything.
Fourth is CeeDee Lamb. Fifth highest paid receiver is DK Metcalf. And then Garrett Wilson.
Yes. He's highly paid.
How many touchdowns did the wide receiver room with the Jets have this year? Wasn't it like 9 touchdown receptions from receivers this year? It was a bad year.
It's just a bad team to be on if you're a receiver.
Yeah. They already extended Charles Cross. They're working on an extension for Devin Witherspoon. They're going to keep him around. I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba is only 24. 119 receptions, 1,793 yards. 10 touchdowns, first team All-Pro, 17 for 199 and 2 touchdowns in the postseason as they went on to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
No, I'm a happy Seahawks fan today, Paul.
Should be happy,
nice.
buddy.
Yeah,
I got that breaking news in the first hour. I knew you'd like it.
I love it.
Yes.
Love it. All over it. Stoked. All right. What are we watching today in sports?
I'm not sure. Maybe... I was going to check the brackets and see where you guys are currently.
I am 4 back of the leader.
Okay.
I'm 4 back of Tara.
All right. 4 back of Tara.
But I had Illinois. I had Illinois beating Florida, so I've got a little loophole there because she had Florida, so I've got a little leg up there if Illinois can come through in the Sweet 16.
So in the office bracket, which is a much smaller pool than the one with our listeners, Tara is currently ahead of both of us.
Yeah.
So
I'm 4 points back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, but I
Key
have
point,
all.
you're back.
But
You're back.
Key
Yeah.
point, I have all 4 legs in my Final Four available, and she doesn't. Is that a valid point or not?
That's a valid
It's
point.
Okay,
valid.
thank you.
Yeah.
But I
Thank
still
you.
have more points available.
Chalky.
No.
Chalky.
Whatever.
She does not like
She doesn't like
Never.
It's been fun. Paulie, rate the show.
9-5.
9-5. We'll do it again tomorrow on a Tuesday. Thanks to Bronson Bear and Sebastian for coming in. You guys have a great Monday. We out of here.